Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you. It might not. All right, so I feel like there is some karma going down here. There's been light shed on something in particular, on a chain of events. I'm hearing the word reckoning, and I feel like something has been unearthed here, but it also feels like something has played out or like been played out to its fruition, to its natural end. And maybe that is what's shining a light here on something. But I do feel this kind of reckoning karmic energy that is coming through. And what I'm seeing in my mind, okay, so I'm seeing two couples and they're not doing anything. It kind of reminds me of when you're playing a video game and you're choosing your avatar and they're just standing there. They don't have any emotion on their face. They're not interacting. You can change their outfit, whatever. So I'm seeing these two couples and they're in that kind of energy, but I'm seeing them face each other in the center of a room. And there's Four of Wands energy that's all around this, and actually all throughout the energy here, and it's all throughout the reading, and which means a lot of different things, but I'm seeing it all swirl kind of like around these two couples. So the Four of Wands for me, it's a very fiery energy. Obviously, it's very engaged, very active, joyous, celebratory card of gathering together socially. But it's not a spontaneous energy for me because it is, after all, a 4, which is the number of the Emperor. So there's some kind of organization and structure to this, meaning somebody booked the venue, somebody brought the cake, there's parking, there's that kind of vibe to this. It's still a very vibrant, lively, happy kind of an energy. The Four of Wands to me also can be a very happy, lively marriage or literally a wedding celebration. And also sometimes for me, it can be a reunion, especially an organized or planned reunion, like a family reunion or, something here like that. And I'm seeing all of this energy kind of swirl around because I feel like that's how this karma is being played out. I'm hearing reunion. So there's some kind of reunion or gathering or get together. But it also feels like something about this karma has played out over time because I am seeing past, present, and future. And I'm seeing them be stuck with kind of like thumbtacks as there's some kind of point of reference or there's something that played out in the past that's affecting the present, that's also affecting the future karmically here with this. And the other interesting thing about the karma that's playing out around these two couples and through these two couples and the members of these couples is I want to say it's like intersectionality, because some of this karma is playing out on an individual level for everybody involved. Some of it is playing out on this couple level, and it doesn't necessarily have to just be romantic couples. I think these two couples I'm seeing are romantic couples, but I'm talking about the karma that's played out around this particular scenario. It could just be, two people that were colluding together or maybe professionally partnered up or something here like that. There is some kind of karma associated with that. And there's also karma playing out here on a group, because there is a group that seems to be surrounding these two couples and involved with these couples in some way, or one of these, with a lot of these people here. There seems to be a group attached to it. And this group, I think, is either the primary energy here or it's secondary to a place. Like the place is primary, and I don't know, say if you LARPed every single year at a certain place at the same time of year, and you always go kind of religiously. Some people naturally can make it some years and they can't make it other years, but the place is primary and the group is kind of secondary. But for others, I feel like the group might be primary, like this is your family, and the place is dominant, but it's secondary, like the home, but maybe like, you get what I'm saying? But there's this group kind of energy around these couples, and it's also involved here in this reunion, celebratory, gathering kind of energy. And not just is it like this main group, but there are also subgroups here. And so there's karma playing out on all different kind of levels. And also this karma, I think, centers around a masculine energy. And it's the way that it's some lesson that he is learning. And I feel like there's something about him that is being revealed to people that are involved, but there is also something for him that's being revealed and enlightened. And this masculine, I feel like, is the masculine within this particular karmic couple, because it seems to me that this masculine was associated with the feminine from this soulmate couple at some point in time, or interested in her, or dated her, or they even could have been married. Because with this wedding celebration energy and the group that's kind of being around, it's kind of like, okay, well, we were at his wedding to his first wife and we saw how that that went. And now we're at the wedding to his second wife. And now we're seeing the dynamics between them. And there's this kind of compare, contrast energy. And that's what I'm getting, this kind of compare, contrast energy to these couples, to these two couples. And that's happening for every individual within these couples, which I think every individual here is a very fiery person, because I think both of these couples are seen in a similar light. They're seen in that Four of Wands energy, right? As having like very lively, happy, vibrant marriages that are maybe really based on like their personalities, and like their personalities get along. But I think all of these people here individually in some way are seen as very fire-oriented people. So probably very attractive, very magnetic in their own way. And that can be either because of their physical attractiveness. It could be they have like some kind of dharmic thing associated with them. But I think these people could garner attention in some way, or just be comfortable getting attention. And then they're partnered up with somebody else who is also a fire person. And so their coupledom between the two of them is seen as this fire energy. And I think these people maybe have something distinct about their personality or something like that, right? That's how they're seen. It's just the soulmate couple actually has that between the two of them, which tells me that they're just living their life and they're not focused on how they're seen. They're not trying to run a PR campaign, or anything like that. They're just living their life, and they naturally have fallen into that Four of Wands relationship, and they've naturally kind of fallen into that rhythm. And this karmic couple, though, I think is more superficial between the two of them. And I think there might be a distinct energy here around the soulmate couple where they're distinct. It's like they are associated with something. They stand for something distinct. But I think this other couple here is maybe more generic in some way. I don't know exactly what I'm meaning by that. But I do feel like there's this kind of reunion energy. And I think this masculine, this karmic masculine energy here weaponized that in the past and is weaponizing that. And I don't know where you're at on the timeline, because there's something that is going down in the present or has just gone down in like the recent past. And it may have had to do with a reunion, because there's a strategy that this masculine has. And I don't know. And I feel like in order to reunite with this soulmate feminine, but he also wants to get her in a room and kind of show off his partnership to see if she's jealous, kind of a thing is what I'm getting, or to see if it's like, I don't know, to rival this, or there's some kind of strategy. And it's selfish and it's not above board. I'm not sure if he wants her back, or if he just wants to like rub her nose in it, or if he wants to like show off or something. I don't know, but there's some kind of strategy. I don't know if this masculine planned this reunion, or if it's at his wedding, or if it's at somebody else's wedding. But what he did plan is to show up with this new person, whether they're married, whether they're getting married, whether they've just met and they've started dating. And he wants to he's angry and he's like bitter about whatever this is. Cause, he's wanting to kind of make a splash here, and it's never gone the way that he wants. And that's because it's his karma to work out. He needs to pause. He's gotten something wrong about the situation. He's gotten something wrong about her, because I feel like he's done a lot of projecting. Like, he's very competitive and he wants to win. And I think she wants to be understood. I think he's misunderstood her greatly in this. And so, like I said, I don't know what's going on in the present, but there's a reckoning around regret. So either he's planning to do this now. Like, so if you are invited back to some kind of reunion, then I would be wary about that, because even if you don't suspect that this person's even going to be there, or you don't know for sure if they're going to be there, or they weren't the one that organized it and invited you, there's still a chance that they're going to be there, and they're going to be in this kind of nasty energy, and they're going to be using their new relationship as some kind of like pawn or something. There is that chance. And I feel like for some of you, there's a chance that this masculine has done this in the past. And that's a part of what I think is playing out for this group energy, who is also seeing these two couples. And again, this could be happening in actual meet space where these two couples are in the same room together. It doesn't, though, necessarily have to be working like that. There's still this comparison energy between these two for this group, and potentially for like another partnership energy where they're starting to understand the real deal. Because, and it could be these two couples that I'm seeing, it could be actual like independent couples, right? That's kind of the way I've been picking up on it. But it also could be centered around this masculine, where maybe he was with this soulmate energy in the past and they were around this group together. They had some kind of, genuine connection. And I think there is a real noticeable difference in this man when he's with his soulmate energy here, or this soulmate person. Like, I think his personality is much happier, much more chipper, much more easygoing than when he's with this. There's some kind of noticeable shift in this man that this group can actually pick up on. And so it could be that the couple is him with this soulmate energy for this group, and then him with his karmic energy. I just heard his new wife, this new person that he's associated with. But I think maybe he struck this chord, and maybe he likes that energy, that Four of Wands, like, I'm coming through in this Four of Wands energy. And he shows up to this group in this reunion with like a new chick on his arm every time, maybe. But it feels like there's just these two that he's been associated with. There's possibly a third, is what I heard. And he shows up like as a couple, and in order to present that. But this group is seeing the truth here, because I feel, and I think that some of these people in this group, again, as individuals, as partnerships, as subgroups within this, I think they're also receiving their karma. They're learning some kind of lesson, and it's comparing and contrasting, because I do think there was some gossip, or there was something going on where either they said his first wife or his first soulmate, whoever this, partner was that he was associated with, that at the very least, it's like they knew that there was like a thing between these two people, I think there could have been some reduction of that person and of the connection between the two of them, like, oh, this is just superficial between the two of them. And I think it's because individuals wanted something for themselves, and it's either they were jealous, and so they were trying to take the pressure off, and they were trying to minimize this soulmate energy that they were maybe intimidated by or jealous of whenever they got introduced to the group or something. And so they made up something about them in their mind that they had to believe, and maybe even whispered it to other people in order to, you know what I'm saying. Or they wanted to partner up with this masculine because maybe they wanted to be seen in the Four of Wands or something. And so they were like, oh, that's just superficial. And I feel called to say, like, just because two people who are physically attractive are interested in each other doesn't make their connection superficial. And I think that that's what some people here are learning, because now they're seeing him with his new partner, and that is a superficial relationship, because it's like the divine said, here we go, like, why don't we take a look at it? And again, I think there's a comparison energy, like maybe some time has gone by, or that's something that will happen in the future, because I can't tell where we're at on the timeline here. That's something that will happen in the future. And I feel, again, there's something playing out with the karma, and it has to do with this generic energy versus this distinguished energy. Because I think there's something distinguished about this soulmate energy, where I think people were saying something like, oh my gosh, they have no personality, or they're just generically this kind of person, or generically that. But actually, they're starting to learn that soulmate was very distinct. And the relationship dynamics between those two people, it was actually very distinct. It was very special, because now they're seeing him interact with somebody who I think is very attractive, because it was whatever they reduced the soulmate to. Like, oh, they're just hot, and that's the only reason why he likes them. They don't actually have a connection. They don't actually this, they don't actually that. Now they're seeing him with this kind of generic milquetoast vibe kind of person, where, yeah, they're attractive and they don't have anything special between the two of them. They don't have really anything interesting about their personalities together. This other person has fire energy. They might be interesting on their own. And, I think this group is kind of seeing that, and they've noticed a change in this masculine. I think he's much quieter, maybe much grumpier. There's something about, like, he doesn't have the same personality. And I think they were saying, oh, well, he's the one with the personality. He's the one with like this, he's that. No, it was his soulmate that was actually bringing that out. Like, they had this kind of like chemistry that everybody kind of misunderstood. And so I think there's been some level of gossip going on here. But okay, and I just heard Still the One by Shania Twain that just started playing in my head. You're still the one. You're still the one that I love, the only one I dream of. You're the one I want for life. So it could also be that, I don't know, people are talking about, they can see, even if like, say this is like actually two couples now, they're saying that they can see that he still likes her and that she still likes him, or they still have their thing, like, you're still the one, like, even after all this time, and even after everybody and their mama and their goat and their dog have tried to like cut down this connection, like, they're still after each other, they're still thinking about each other, because he might be asking about his soulmate. I'm kind of getting the sense that the soulmate has moved on or is gone in some way, but he's still asking about that, because his karma is that he uses this Four of Wands energy, this reunion energy, to kind of like make a splash or to get attention. And I get the sense that maybe he did that in the past. And that could be the reckoning too, where he's realizing that that was wrong. that wasn't the right move to try and show up and be angry and try to like make this person jealous. Because remember what I was saying in the beginning is that he really misunderstood her. He was competing. He was like, had some kind of little man syndrome. He was feeling really like he wanted to fight, but she was never in that energy towards him. And if he didn't try to play games and try to like make a splash at the reunion to get back at her, and instead use the reunion to reunite and talk and like level things out, that he actually could have maybe had that Four of Wands with this person. But there's some kind of reckoning energy, and this group is seeing it here as well, because there could have been some accusations going on here, and it could have come from him as well, that, oh, she's not special, she's she's not special to me, she's superficial. And then it's played out over time like, oh, well, this is who he ended up with. Like, okay, that person wasn't special, but this is what you think you elevate over that. Or yeah. And it could be that even within this group, there could be multiple couples like this, like who coupled up, because this is just a very active group on a karmic level. This almost to me looks like like a energetic switchboard or something, where there's a lot of karma between the people that are engaged in this place and the decisions that people are making as individuals, as partners, who they partner up with, who they collude with, right? Who the subgroups that they hang out with. There could be a lot of politicking. All of that shapes up. There's a lot of different ways that I feel like this karma could funnel through. There's a lot of different avenues or something like that. And then there's something about this group kind of going away for a while and then reuniting, and the decisions that they're making and the partnerships that they're nurturing and the groups that they are still with kind of depend, that is what shapes up to who gets invites to these reunions, when, where. It's all very karmic, like what's flowed out from this particular group. So it could be this couple thing that I'm seeing in the middle. It could be like within this group, who coupled up with who from potentially from this group, maybe people dated each other from this group, but it's like, who did they go up, and they're comparing and contrasting, because there's something about the snapshot of when they were all together, interacting, but then these reunions and kind of seeing this snapshot in these reunions, it's very clarifying on a karmic level. It teaches them something, who was lying in the past, who was lying to themselves, like what was actually true. It's definitely, I feel like that. And, it has something here to do with a reunion. And I feel like this masculine may realize, like the final one, because I feel like he uses these reunions, to try to get back at the soulmate feminine, or he really wants to be with her, but he also wants to make her jealous, and he wants to make her pay. I think he wants to bait her into initiating some kind of argument or some kind of first move between the two of them. But it's through making her jealous, and he wants to feel dominant, and, but he's not getting what he wants out of that situation, kind of thing. And this could have happened like multiple times, but I feel like he is finally this is like the final one, maybe he's gonna finally realize that he was wrong, and he's potentially gonna again try to get back in a room with her or whatever, but it's not gonna work. Like, she's either not gonna go, she's not living in that same area, she's moved on with somebody else. Like, his little plan is like not gonna work. I don't know, and I feel like it's never really actually worked, but I also think that, again, if there were people who were trying to interfere because they wanted something for themselves and they were lying to themselves, I think there's some people here who could have saw two attractive people being attracted to each other and said, oh, that's superficial. And my desire to be with one of these people is not superficial because I'm less attractive. But really, they didn't have as much in common with this person anyways, and they were trying to make themselves feel better. But I think they potentially can see that this person is not in a situation that is near as good as them being with like their soulmate, that whoever they're with, they don't have the same connection to, or they're actually seeing what they were saying the original connection was, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I'm just letting you know that if you are receiving some kind of like reunion invite, that your ex could be involved in this in some way, shape, or form, and you might not know, and there might be this ambushing energy. They may have done this to you in the past. And so I'm just letting you know, so you can make your decision. Or for some of you, they did this in the past and it could have broken your heart, but you have moved on. And I feel like there maybe are getting some kind of reckoning. Somebody could have told them that, I'm hearing, somebody may have told them that they were wrong about you at one of these reunions, like that you didn't even go to. You might not have even known that there was a reunion happening or something. And somebody was like, that's crazy. Like, your appraisal of this person is incorrect. This is a really genuine, very sweet person, and they would never play mind games with you or anything. Like, you were the one playing games, you know? So they could have been told off by somebody here that was like, you treated this person so badly, that's why they don't come around anymore, you know, or whatever. You threw that person under the bus for this person. Okay, so the last thing I want to say here is there's something to do with this karma of distinct versus generic. And I think maybe this masculine was given bad advice about like to do this weird thing at the reunions. And I think he needed to decide in himself, because I feel like this bad advice could have been like to do with women in general. So it could have been some kind of toxic person in their life that was like, these women always go crazy when you make them compete for other ones, and that's how they're going to argue with you, and that they always come crawling back, you know. But that's a generic woman that apparently this other person has been around, but that's not you, you know, or that's not whoever the soulmate energy is. You're a distinct person, and they needed to plan their actions. Like, that was like the karmic question. Are you going to plan your actions around some random distinct or generic woman, or are you going to actually get to know this person, figure out what they need in order to make your approach and like tailor it to them? Because I think in a weird way, this could have been an approach. This could have been a tactic that they wanted to date this person, or they wanted to be with this person, and them being with another. Like, I would never get this message. I would never understand this, you know? Clearly you're not single. I don't understand how you think that would make me interested in you, you know? And I think you're the same way. And I think this person didn't understand that they confused you and they ruined their chances, basically. But there's that karmic question of that. And then also, I think that maybe the soulmate that they settled for is generically appealing to, you know, people, but they're not distinctly appealing. Like, their soulmate is a kind of distinct that they really like, you know? And that's what they're kind of like going in for. Maybe they had a choice between these two people, but it's like, this person's like, there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing like but they don't do it for them on some level, even though this person may have something about them that society praises. Like, they could be really successful, or they could be really rich, or they could be really attractive. And it's like a nice energy to kind of have on your arm. And plus they're not, I feel like it's a really non-opinionated energy, you know, and that could be as a personality, they don't really assert their opinions, but it's just kind of, I think this person is, the things that they enjoy doing are non-confrontational. And I'm really seeing a lot of shopping, to be honest. Like, I'm seeing this person's like, oh, this is a really nice vase, you know? I don't know if there's like a money thing. I don't know. It's a more generic energy, where the soulmate is more distinct. There's something about their personality that they like, that they can't find anywhere else. It's a distinct energy. So which do you go in for? The distinct energy or the generic energy? And I think that's what this group has watched played out here as well. And maybe they have also played it out, because there's a lot of mirroring going on in this group. This could be a repeated pattern, you know, for everybody that's involved here. But I also think that there were lies that were told, either that this masculine told about himself and this soulmate, or that other people told in order to keep these two people apart. All that's kind of being fleshed out, and it's coming to light. It also could have been said that this soulmate was superficial, and then he showed up with somebody who was actually superficial. So everybody, I just heard karma's kind of making people eat their words here. At some kind of reunion is what I'm getting. And you may know that this happened. Maybe you went there, or maybe you didn't even know that this happened. Because I think different groups get together at different times. With this, when the whole group can't meet together, and somebody basically told this masculine, or word is getting around. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I have for you. There's karma going down. There's a reckoning going down. Because this masculine is very strategic around this reunion energy. He wasn't open-handed. He wasn't cooperative. He wasn't, and he really misunderstood this feminine's energy and intentions. Yeah. So he's either realizing that he shouldn't have done that. Like, he's reflecting on these things in the past because somebody told him something that snapped him out of whatever he was in. Or for some of you, this is going on now. Like, he's planning to ambush you at some kind of reunion to rub it in your face that he's with this particular person. Or for some of you, could be a really hot person, and maybe you just met this person and they're trying to bring you to an event to try to rub their ex's nose in it, and you don't even know that that's what's going on. So anyways, take this as you will. But if that resonates, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.